When cleaning your vehicle by valeting, steaming, waxing, or polishing, make sure the engine is also sound. Servicing your vehicle with Gold synthetic oil and any quality Gold oil massages the engine, removes deposit, protects it from wear and tear for longer lasting performance, and makes your vehicle feel pampered. Made for diesel and super engines. Remember, after every 15,000 kilometers of enjoying your ride, service your engine with Gold synthetic oil.
Gold is a champion. That's why I, Azuma Nelson, 3 times world boxing champion and a patriot, always choose Gold.
Ashene Pankasa. Gold, good energy.
I can conveniently pay for my utility bills, my son's Cartoon Network on DSTV, and renew my internet services package. I can securely send my sweet mother her monthly allowance by simply transferring funds from my bond account into hers. I can also pay the gardener through any of the mobile money platforms available. I can verify if the check to the vendor has cleared. Now let me guess my sister is here at time so I can peacefully go back to sleep. With Bond Mobile app, you can do your banking anywhere. Download the Bond mobile app on Apple Play Store or Google Play Store today. Bond, your success, our passion.
There's always that one individual so selfless and caring. The world still has caring people. Getting unexpected help is a joy for us. That's why at Prudential Life, we've introduced Ultimate, the no-lapse guarantee on your Premier and Classic farewell plans. The biggest challenge for most clients having a funeral policy is the fact that when they are unable to pay premiums due to financial challenges, the policies elapse and the full benefit falls off. We have introduced the no-lapse guarantee on our funeral plans. This ensures that you don't lose your full benefit during challenging financial moments. Prudential, always listening, always understanding.
Welcome to the Welcome to the 2017 edition of the National Science and Math Quiz. Yes, Christopher. You're right. Yes, Senna.
Perimeter.
You're right. Yes, Priscilla.
NH3.
You're right.
It was exciting getting all the points in the
last round to catch up.
No school is too little to be bullied.
Yes, Wonder.
Operation.
You are right.
The National Science and Maths Quiz is the longest running independent production on television. It's the one program that brings education authorities, teachers, allied staff, students, old students associations, and parents together in support of science education at the senior high school rank of the education ladder. The objectives of the National Science and Maths Quiz are to promote the study of the sciences and mathematics, to help senior high school students develop quick thinking skills and a probing and scientific mind about things around them, to promote healthy academic rivalry between senior high schools, to a lesser degree, keep old students still interested in their schools and encourage them to offer help to their alma mater, to inculcate a degree of science culture in the Ghanaian society for all to see science as a way of life. Let's take a walk down memory lane and see how far we have come in 25 years. The idea was not proposed at a national science fair or conference, but rather on the tennis court of the University of Ghana, Legon, where Mr. Kweku Mensah Bonsu, then managing director of Primetime, was at the court to play the game after his own heart with his playmate, the late Professor Ebenezer Kweku Awotwe, Professor of Animal Science. Mr. Mensah Bonsu was curious as to why birds could stand on a live electric wire without getting electrocuted, but human beings could not do so. From Professor Kweku Awotwe's explanation, Mr. Mensah Bonsu got the idea of a quiz program focused on scientific explanations behind everyday phenomena, in addition to the topics from the regular science curriculum for senior high schools. Thus, it all began 25 years ago, in April 1993. Since then, the National Science and Maths Quiz NSMQ has seen 22 exciting editions.
Selecting the quiz mistress and the gender was entirely my decision. So one Saturday evening after tennis, we were sitting in Commonwealth Hall senior common room, and then Marianne was there. So I just said, he said, you talk to Marianne. Have you spoken with her? I said, no, I'm going to talk to her. So I talked to Marianne. Then Dr. Marianne Addy, later Professor Marianne Addy. I told her about the program and that I needed a quiz mistress. I wanted a quiz mistress. And she said, but why me? I said, you, because you are a female scientist with a PhD. Can you imagine the impact that this would have on the children, especially the girls? That I want you to be the quiz mistress, whether you like it or not. In fact, I've selected you as a quiz mistress. And she had a good laugh. I said, okay, I'll do it. And then when Marianne was leaving the program after 7 years, and this time she recommended Eureka MFA Adumako. And the first time I met her, I said, well, of course, if you're called Eureka, that's a name that came out of mathematics. So then you are a quiz mistress. I met Dr. Kaufman at a program, and she and Professor Alote came to my office to talk to me about some mathematics competition or science, international science competition. And I went and talked to Dr. Awotwe, I've met her only once, but I think from the way she spoke and the way she carried herself. And I just said, well, strangely, that's the person I was also thinking about. So I said, well, your job is cut out for you now. Our 3 quiz mistresses have all been great, I must say.
There would have been no excitement without very interesting and well-crafted questions. The nature of the competition requires that questions be of equal strength and difficulty at each stage of the competition. A team of consultants were selected to work on the questions. This is how the team was put together.
Then I got my friend Dr. Adanu, to do the physics. So Asmeni for chemistry, Adanu for physics. Then for biology, Autry himself, Mrs. Kwaku. She put together a team to do the maths. Now, beyond the first year of the competition, I got to know Dr. Douglas Edujemfi of the maths department. And Douglas agreed to be a part of the team. And since then, he's been a part.
The program was first recorded in October 1993 with the late Professor Marian Irama Ade. Professor.
Welcome to the 2018 edition of the National Science and Math Quiz. We are in the quarterfinals, also known as the Money Zone, sponsored by GCB Bank. What this means is that at this stage of the competition, every point is worth 5 Ghana cedis. So unless you score 0 or a negative score, you should be leaving with something. Every contestant and their teacher, 1 teacher per school. That's the Money Zone. Thank you, GCB. This is the 7th quarterfinal contest, which features TAMALE Senior High School, West Africa Senior High School, and KUMASI Senior High Technical School. Let's meet the contestants. KUMASI Senior High Technical School. KUMASI Senior High Technical School is represented by
Adeja Baimano, final year.
Adida Kukisli, final year.
You're welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, madam.
How are you doing?
We are doing great.
You're doing well?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about your last contest. 1A stage, how did it go?
Well, at the 1A stage, we met Agri Memorial and Sunrise Senior High School, and by God's grace, we were able to prevail. And that's how we are here.
All right. I don't want to take too much of your time. So this contest, what are we expecting?
Nothing but victory.
Victory. All right. Best wishes to you, gentlemen. West Africa Senior High School. West Africa Senior High School is represented by
Tadeo Abdul Hamid, final year.
Akosaini, final year.
You're welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, madam.
How are you doing?
We are fine.
You are in the quarterfinals.
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
It means that we should do our best and then make sure we pass this level of the
Wait a minute. Sound. It's okay. All right. Go ahead.
It means that being here 3 times and then being eliminated at the quarterfinal, this year we have to put in our best so that we'll make it to the semi-final and then, God willing, to the finals.
All right. Good. So what are we expecting for this contest?
What God will endow us, the strength He will give us, the knowledge He will impart on us, and the mercy He will shower on us, that's what He will give.
All right. Best wishes to you then.
Thank you, madam.
TAMALE Senior High School. TAMALE Senior High School is represented by
Tawal Sanusi, second year.
Mohammed Yunus is the final year.
You are welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
How are you?
We are doing well.
Wonderful. Please tell us about your last contest.
Well, in our last contest, that was at the 1-8 stage, we met Achimota School and Apam Senior High School. And by God's grace, we emerged victorious.
You are telling me as if it was a normal contest. It was a painful contest because it went to a tie break, didn't it?
Yes.
Why?
that was the waiting stand out.
Oh, all right. So this contest, what shall we expect?
We'll do our best and God will see us through.
All right. Best wishes to you.
Thank you.
Viewers, we've met the contestants. Everyone is looking for victory. People are talking about semi-finals and even the final. Before I sit down, though, I would like to acknowledge that the National Science and Math Quiz is sponsored by the Ghana Education Service through the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools. We also have support from GCB Bank, Accra College of Medicine, Medifem Multi-Specialist Hospital and Fertility Center, Lancaster University, Ghana, Academic City College, West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens, WACBIP, Awake Purified Drinking Water, GTP, MFA Jewelry, and Hottie Makeup. The mentorship sessions are sponsored by Bond Savings and Loans and RMG Ghana, and SciTech Fair 2018 was sponsored by GOIL, Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, and Talo Ghana Limited. Our media sponsors are City FM and Joy News. This is a primetime production. My name is Elsie Fakofman. I'm your quiz mistress. Contestants, the contest, as usual, comes to you in 5 rounds. The first round is a round for fundamental concepts. The questions are simple and direct. I'm expecting simple and direct answers from you. If you answer your major question correctly, 3 points. If the question is incorrectly answered, it becomes available to the 2 other schools. A school may ring and attempt an answer. If the answer is right, a bonus point. If the answer is incorrect, it fetches a penalty, 1 point. For questions that require calculations, you have 30 seconds to present your answer. If there are no calculations, you have 10 seconds to do so. All of the questions are to be attempted once only. Best wishes to all 3 schools. First set of questions will require about 30 seconds of your time, and I have a preamble to all schools, after which I'll come to you, Tamale. All right, so this is the preamble. In the Rutherford alpha particle scattering experiment, the fraction of alpha particles scattered at angles greater than theta is proportional to cotangent squared of theta over 2. In one experiment, the fraction of alpha particles scattered at angles greater than 90 degrees is 7.50 times 10 to the power negative 5. Please, did you get the preamble? Again. All right. In the Rutherford alpha particle scattering experiment, the fraction of alpha particles scattered at angles greater than theta is proportional to cotangent squared of the angle theta over 2. In one experiment, the fraction of alpha particles scattered at angles greater than 90 degrees is 7.50 times 10 raised to the power negative 5. So now the question, Tamale. What is the fraction of alpha particles scattered at angles greater than 60 degrees? Jonas.
Yes. One second. 2.25 times 10 exponent negative 4.
Yes. West Africa, with the same preamble, what is the fraction of alpha particles scattered at angles greater than 120 degrees? Sahine.
2.50 times 10 to the minus 5.
Yes. KUMASI Senior High Technical School with the same preamble. What is the fraction of alpha particles scattered at angles between 60 degrees and 90 degrees? Emmanuel.
I'm having 1.50 times 10 to the power negative 4.
Yes. Next set, 10 seconds, and I have a preamble once again. Preamble. When I get to your school, I will give you a type of bird. A type of bird. Now listen to this. The most important function of the beak of birds is feeding, and it is shaped according to the type of food that a bird eats. State the most significant feature in the beak of the bird that I give you. I hope you got the preamble. All right, so Tamale, woodpeckers. Yes, Eunice.
The woodpecker has a beak which is short and conical, a short conical beak which is for pecking on the wood. Pointed.
I'm not accepting that for bonus. Oh, the beak is chisel-like. It's like a chisel. With the same preamble, West Africa, insect eaters. Yes, Sahine.
The beak is short and it is pointed.
2 out of 3. Yes, for the pointed. Otherwise, it's thin and slender. Right? All right. Kumase. Predatory birds. Kingsley.
Their beak is sharp and pointed for tearing the flesh of prey.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. For the sharp part, but it's hooked. Next set, 30 seconds short preamble. Find the equation of the image of the given line. That's the preamble. Okay, your line, Tamale, is y is equal to 2x plus 5 when reflected in the y-axis. Yes, Eunice.
Y equals minus 2x plus 5.
Yes. Y is equal to negative 2x plus 3 when reflected in the x-axis. Sahne.
Y is equal to 2x minus 3.
Yes. X minus 2y is equal to 5 when reflected in the line y is equal to x. Yes, Manuel?
Y minus 2x is equal to 5.
Yes. Next set, 10 seconds, preamble to all schools. Use the kinetic molecular theory to explain the following. Did you get the preamble? All right, so Tamale. Charles's law, which states that at a constant pressure, the volume of a given mass of a gas is directly proportional to temperature. Yes, Eunice.
The kinetic theory states that for an increase in volume, according to the kinetic theory, the pressure of the gas will tend to increase. So for an increase in temperature, the pressure of the gas will tend to increase. So in order to keep the pressure, and this is due to the intermolecular collisions between the molecules of the gas in the molecule. As temperature increases, the collision between gaseous molecules also increases. So and this tends to increase the pressure. So in order to keep the pressure constant, the volume has to increase proportionally in order to keep the pressure constant.
Okay, you struggled, but in the end it came out. West Africa. Boyle's law, which states that at a constant temperature, the pressure of a given mass of a gas is inversely proportional to its volume. Yes, Abdul.
Madam, please, when you take two vessels with different volumes at the same temperature, filled with the same amount of gas, and because the temperatures are the same, the kinetic energy of the gas molecules are also the same. And therefore, the pressure will depend on the collision between the walls of the containing vessel and the molecules of the gas. Now, for the bigger container, because the intermolecular distance between the gas molecule and themselves and the walls of the container is great, so therefore they move more before they collide with the gas, and therefore the frequency of collision with the walls of the container is smaller. and therefore its pressure is smaller. And that for the smaller container, because the average distance between the molecules is smaller, and between the molecules and the walls of the container is also smaller, the pressure will be greater because it will travel shorter distances before it will collide.
1. You are actually talking about Boyle's law, all right. You are linking the pressure, you are linking the volume, but the real reason, right? Okay, so when a volume of a given quantity of a gas is reduced, there's a corresponding decrease in the surface area, not the distances moving. That is changing. It is the surface area, the area available for the collisions. That is decreased. So there is an increase in frequency of collision of the particles with the surface. Although the speed of the particles remain the same, you have more frequent collisions that will lead to the increase in pressure. So it's the reduced area available for them to be bombarding, not the distances they are moving. All right. KUMASI, with the same preamble. Dalton's law of partial pressures, which states that at constant volume and temperature, the total pressure of a mixture of gases is the sum of individual pressures or partial pressures. Yes, Kingsley.
This explains that for a given volume of a gas which does not react chemically together, each gas exerts a certain pressure in the container in which it is found. That's each gas exerts a certain pressure in the container when it is alone. That is so the total pressure of the gas include the total pressure in the container is the sum of the constituent pressure exerted by each gas in the container.
Is that all? I can't accept it for a bonus. Oh, you only explained Dalton's law of partial pressures, but you are not linking it to the kinetic theory. You are supposed to link it to the kinetic theory. According to the kinetic theory, there's some particle size, right? So according to this theory, the particle sizes of the gases are negligible compared to the volume. So having different particles in a given volume will not affect the movement and the frequency with which each particle collides with the surface of the container. Hence, the total pressure will be the sum of the pressure each gas would exert. Okay? So it has to do with the kinetic theory saying that the size of the particle is negligible. Regardless of what particle you have in there, the size is negligible. So it doesn't really affect in any way. Okay? So that was the link. That's the important link which was missing from your answer. All right. Next, 30 seconds. TAMALE. 2 glass plates with a common area of 0.250 meters squared have a 1.00 millimeter thick layer of liquid between them. Find the force needed to slide one plate relative to the other at 3.00 meters per second when the viscosity of the liquid between them is 5.00 pascals second. Eunice.
0.60 newtons.
That's incorrect. Which of you, Abdul?
7.50 kilonewton.
That's incorrect. The right answer is 3.75 kilonewton. All right, your major question, West Africa. 2 glass plates with a common area of 0.250 meters squared have a 1.00 millimeter thick layer of liquid between them. Find the viscosity of the liquid if the force needed to slide one plate relative to the other at 2.00 meters per second is 0.500 kilonewton. Sahine.
1.00 Pascal second.
Yes. Two glass plates with a common area of 0.50 meters squared have a 2.0 millimeter thick layer of liquid between them. Find the viscosity of the liquid if the force needed to slide one plate relative to the other at 0.50 meter per second is 0.40 kilonewton. Emmanuel.
I'm having 3.20 times 10 to the power 1 Pascal seconds.
That's incorrect. Who rang? Yes, go ahead, Abdul.
3.20 Pascal second.
I can't give you for a bonus. Hey, only one. We can't continue this forever. All right, so the right answer is 3.2 Pascal second. Next set, 10 seconds each. Tamale. The kidney is an excretory organ, but it also secretes hormones. Name one of these hormones, only one. Yes, go ahead, Eunice.
Aldosterone. Aldosterone.
No. For bonus. I'm going to hold on to your the answer for a moment as I move on. I'll come back to it. All right, so West Africa. Which of the 3 hormones released by the kidney is in response to hypoxia, that is low levels of oxygen at tissue level in the renal circulation? Yes, Sahine.
Adrenaline.
No. All right. So let me just go ahead and then I'll come back. All right. KUMASI, which hormone is normally released by the pituitary in response to sensors that detect an increase in blood osmolarity? That is the number of dissolved particles in the blood or decrease in blood volume? Yes, Emmanuel.
The antidiuretic hormone.
You're right. Okay, so, Tamale, the kidney secretes 3 hormones: erythropoietin, calcitriol, and renin. Those are the 3. And then West Africa, the 3 hormones released by the kidney, the one that is responsible, that is released in response to hypoxia, is erythropoietin. Why? Next set, 30 seconds, and I have a preamble to all schools. Preamble. Find the inverse of the given matrix if it exists. Tamale, your matrix A is a 2x2 matrix with elements 5, 3, 3, 2. Eunice.
2 minus 3 minus 3, 5.
Yes. West Africa, your matrix B is a 2x2 matrix with elements 3, 6, 4, 8. Sahine.
The matrix has no inverse.
Yes. Kumasi, your matrix C is a 2x2 matrix with elements 9, 7, 4, 3. Yes, Emmanuel.
The inverse of the matrix is -3, 7, 4, -9.
Yes. Next set, 10 seconds each. Tamale, the solubility product of lead-2 sulfide and copper-2 sulfide are 4.0 times 10 to the power -28 and 8.0 times 10 to the power -45, respectively. If H2S gases bubble through a solution containing both lead-2 ions and copper-2 ions, which sulfide will precipitate first and why? Yes, Eunice.
We have copper-2 sulfide will precipitate out first. The reason being that it has a lower solubility product compared to lead-2 sulfide.
Yes. West Africa. An experiment involves dissolving copper-2 hydroxide separately in pure water and in dilute sodium hydroxide. In which medium will the solubility be higher? Please explain your answer. Yes, Abdul.
The copper hydroxide will be more soluble in water, and this is because in NaOH, because of the common ion effect, the common ion OH minus between the copper OH2 and then the sodium hydroxide, so therefore it can't dissolve.
Yes. Kumasi. When dilute NaOH is added to a solution of iron 2+, a green gelatinous precipitate is formed, which later turns brown on the surface. What accounts for the change in color? Yes, Emmanuel.
This is because as the iron 2 settles, it changes into iron 3, which is brown in color. That means it's being oxidized to iron 3, which is brown in color. So the change in iron 2 to iron 3 causes the change in color. That's from green to brown.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. Yes, you are right, but I wanted you to give me the compounds, right? So you have FeOH2, which is formed, and then this is oxidized by air to give FeOH3, and this is the brown color. All right, 30 seconds, Tamale. The threshold pump power of a laser is 4.0 watts, and its slope efficiency is 20%. Find the pump power required for an output power of 1.0 watts. Yes, Eunice.
25 watts.
That's incorrect. For bonus. The right answer is 9.0 watts. West Africa. Find the pump power required for an output power of 0.50 watts from a laser with threshold pump power of 200 milliwatts and a slope efficiency of 25%. Sahine.
2.20 milliwatts.
That's incorrect. For a bonus. The right answer is 2.2 watts. Kumasi. The threshold pump power of a laser is 4.0 watts. And its slope efficiency is 32%. Find the output power for an input power of 6.0 watts. Emmanuel.
The output power is 6.4 watts.
That's incorrect. Yes.
0.64 watt.
Yes. Next set, 10 seconds with a preamble to all schools. Preamble. Soil phosphorus becomes unavailable to plants through several routes. Explain the impact of the following on phosphorus availability to plants. Did you get the preamble? All right. So, Tamale, bacteria. Yes, Jonas.
Okay. Bacteria increase the amount of phosphorus in plants in soil by fixing by fixing phosphorus in their or by changing phosphorus from unabsorbable forms to more absorbable forms, such as the phosphates, for the plant roots to absorb them.
No, I can't accept that. For a bonus. Actually, bacteria convert plant-available phosphate into organic forms that are not available to plants, the opposite direction from what you were saying. Although there are other bacteria that make phosphate available by mineralization, but this contribution is minimal. So the main thing is that they make the phosphate unavailable. All right. West Africa, with the same preamble, adsorption. Yes, Sahine.
It makes phosphorus unavailable to the plant in the soil. This because it holds the phosphorus firmly onto the soil, preventing it from being absorbed by the root of the plant.
Yes. KUMASI, pH. Emmanuel.
Okay, the pH makes phosphorus available to plants due to like let's consider an application of fertilizer. When the fertilizer is applied, the phosphorus in it, when the fertilizer applies to the soil, it increases the pH, and the plant is able to absorb some of the phosphorus due to that increase in.
I'm not accepting that. Pro bonus. All right, so inorganic phosphorus compounds need to be soluble to be taken up by plants. This depends on the acidity or pH of the soil. If the soils are less than pH 4, less than 4, or greater than pH 8, the phosphorus starts to become tied up with other compounds, making it less available or unavailable to the plants. Next 30 seconds, this is your preamble. Find the real zeros of the polynomial f of x when. All right, so Tamale, f of x is equal to x cubed plus x squared plus 4x plus 4. Yes, Eunice.
Okay, x equals -1 or -4.
No. Yes, Emmanuel.
The real zeros are s equal to -1.
Yes, just that. West Africa, with the same preamble. F of x is equal to x cubed minus 2x squared plus 4x minus 8. Yes, Sahine.
X is equal to 2.
Yes. F of x is equal to x cubed plus 7x squared plus 5x plus 35. Emmanuel.
S is equal to -7.
Okay. Last set of questions for the round. I have a preamble to all schools and then 30 seconds. Preamble. Elemental sulfur is oxidized by concentrated tetraoxosulfate 6 to give SO2 according to the equation S plus 2H2SO4 going to 2H2O plus 3SO2. Atomic mass for hydrogen is 1.0. That for sulfur is 32, and for oxygen is 16.0. I hope you got the preamble. All right, so Tamale, calculate the mass of pure sulfur required to prepare 4.80 grams of SO2 gas, assuming that the yield is 100%. Please give your answer to 2 places of decimal. Yes, Eunice.
1.20 grams.
That's incorrect. For a bonus. Emmanuel?
8.0 grams.
No. The right answer is 0.80 grams. West Africa, with the same preamble. If 5.0 grams of impure sulfur yielded 24.0 grams of SO2, calculate the percentage purity of the sulfur. Please give your answer to 1 place of decimal. Sahine.
80.0%.
Yes. With the same preamble, last question. Calculate the volume of SO2 at STP that can be obtained from 1.0 grams of pure sulfur, assuming the yield is only 50%. Give your answer to 2 places of decimal. For bonus. The right answer is 1.05 decimeter cubed. And that's the end of the first round. At the end of the first round, Tamale Senior High School has 16 points. Kumasi Senior High Technical School has 19 points. West Africa Senior High School has 25 points. Four more rounds to go. Round 2. This round is known as the speed race. The questions in the round are directed to all three schools simultaneously. For an opportunity to answer a question, you must ring for it. Let me hear your bell, KUMASI Senior High Technical. Thank you. Yours, West Africa. Thank you. And yours, TAMALE. If you ring and answer correctly on the first attempt, 3 points. On the second attempt, 2 points. On the third attempt, 1 point. Be careful though, because if you attempt to answer a question and you are unsuccessful, you lose a precious point. For questions that require calculations, you have a maximum of 30 seconds to present your answer. If there are no calculations, you have a maximum of 10 seconds to do so. Best wishes to all three schools. First set of questions, 30 seconds each. First one. Evaluate. Sine of 2 multiplied by the inverse tangent of 1. Yes, Abdul?
1.
Yes. Next one. Expand the expression 1 plus 3x all raised to the power 1/3 in ascending powers of x up to the term in x squared. Yes, which of you? Lawal.
1 plus x minus 1 over 3x.
No. Who rang next? Yes, Emmanuel. Quick.
I'm having 4 plus.
Yes, Abdul.
1 plus x minus x squared.
Yes. Emmanuel, we will not be having anything. Go straight to the answer, okay? All right. Next one. Y varies inversely as x squared, and y is equal to 6 when x is equal to 2. Find the value of y when x is equal to 3. Yes, Eunice.
8 over 3.
Yes. Next set, 30 seconds each. A steel product delivered to a customer is found to contain manganese 58, atomic number 25, a radioisotope which decays by beta minus emission with a half-life of 3.0 seconds. Find the ratio of the activity of the product 12 seconds after delivery. Yes, Eunice.
1 out of 16.
Yes. And the rest of it was 12 seconds after delivery to its activity at the time of delivery. Next one. A 2-input XOR logic gate is fed the input bit sequences A is equal to 0011 0101 and B is equal to 010 11100. What is the output? Yes, Eunice.
0 1 1 0 1 0 0 1.
Yes. Next one. Safura is cruising one afternoon at 15 meters per second when she hears the 0.62 kilohertz siren sound of an ambulance, which is speeding at 30 meters per second to a hospital several kilometers behind her. What frequency does she perceive as the ambulance approaches her if the speed of sound that afternoon is 340 meters per second? The right answer is 0.71 kilohertz. Next, 10 seconds each. The peripheral arrangement of vascular tissues is a characteristic of the internal structure of which part of dicot plants? Yes, Eunice.
The stele of dicot plants. The stele.
The what?
Stele.
No. Yes, Kingsley.
The root.
No. It's a stem. The stem. Next one. What is the most important event in the transition of the amphibians from water to land? Yes, which of you? Kingsley?
Metamorphosis.
No. The right answer is the replacement of their gills with lungs. Next one. Why is it possible for unicellular organisms to transport essential nutrients directly to all parts? Yes, Eunice.
This is because they have a very high surface area to volume ratio.
Yes. Last set, 30 seconds each. First one. A 100 centimeter cubed of 0.18 mole per decimeter cubed NaOH solution are added to 200 centimeter cubed of 0.15 mole per decimeter cubed of KOH solution. Calculate the mole ratio of sodium ions to potassium ions. Yes, Eunice.
6:1.
No. Which of you, Sahine?
3:5.
Yes. Next one. A steel vessel contains oxygen and argon at a total pressure of 120 kilopascal at 30 degrees Celsius. If the partial pressure of oxygen is 40.0 kilopascal, what is the mass ratio of argon to oxygen in the vessel? Atomic mass for argon is 40.0, that for oxygen is 16. Yes, Eunice.
4:1.
That's incorrect. The right answer is 5:2. Last one. 150 centimeter cube solution of 0.12 mole per decimeter cubed of Na2SO4 are added to 100.0 centimeter cubed of 0.200 barium chloride solution. How many moles of barium sulfate will be precipitated? Give your answer to 3 places of decimal. Yes, Abdul.
0.018. Yeah, 0.018 mole.
Yes. And that's the end of the second round.
I can conveniently pay for my utility bills, my son's Cartoon Network on DSTV, and renew my internet services package. I can securely send my sweet mother her monthly allowance by simply transferring funds from my bond account into hers. I can also pay the gardener through any of the mobile money platforms available. I can verify if the check to the vendor has cleared. Now let me guess my sister is here at time so I can peacefully go back to sleep. With Bond Mobile app, you can do your banking anywhere. Download the Bond Mobile app on Apple Play Store or Google Play Store today. Bond, your success, our passion.
Please keep them covered. Don't turn over until I ask you to. And don't begin until I ask you to. At the end of the second round, Kumasi Senior High Technical School has 16 points. TAMALE Senior High School has 24 points. West Africa Senior High School has 34 points. Round 3. This round has the problem of the day. The problem of the day is a single question to all 3 schools. From the time I ask you to begin, you will have 3 minutes in which you can compose an answer to the problem of the day. The problem of the day is worth 10 points. Please, let's put down our pens. Let's turn over the sheets and read the problem of the day together. Problem of the day. Describe how to write a decimal number n in scientific notation. Contestants, this is your problem of the day. You may now begin. Please stop writing and present your answers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Is your school name on there? Thanks. Ready. Contestants, please pick up your notepads and present your answers on the board, exactly as you have them here. You know I'll check. Exactly. decimal point for n. What is all this? First move the decimal point for n. Then you see what continues there. It's not the same. Make sure it's the same. You are struggling to see. Go and write it like that. Same. Let me move. The contestants have presented their answers. Before I award the points, let's look at the suggested solution from the consultants. This is a very interesting problem in mathematics. In fact, contestants, most of us, we've been writing numbers in scientific notation forever and ever, but we never think about the procedure, right? So the question was to describe how, so the process, how to write a decimal number n in scientific notation. One thing to do it, one thing to describe a process. So let's see. It's a three-step process, The first step, move the decimal point in the original number n to the right or left until you obtain a number greater than or equal to 1, but less than 10. 2 points for this. Second step, count the number n, that's small n, of places you move the decimal point in the first step. So count. If you count 2 points. If the decimal point was moved to the left, consider the count small n as positive, 1 point. If the decimal point was moved small n steps to the right, consider the count n, small n, as negative, that is negative n. 1 point for this. Last step, third step. Multiply the number a that you obtained in the first step. Call that a, small a. So multiply the number a you obtained in the first step by 10 raised to the count in step 2 to obtain big N, your original n, is equal to a multiplied by 10 to the power n, small n, or n is equal to a multiplied by 10 to the power negative small n. And that's worth 2 points. And then according as to whether the decimal point moved to the left or to the right, 2 points. So you see, this is a very systematic process. Every step has to make sense. The fact that you've written things doesn't mean it's making sense. All right, so total of 10 points. Now, contestants, KUMASI Senior High Technical School. You wrote all sorts of things here. A lot of it is very confusing indeed. For example, let's start. In writing a decimal number n in scientific notation, you will consider the decimal place of n. What does that mean? After considering the decimal place, you move the decimal place n. That's the first number in n. Again, I don't know what that means. After which you will multiply by the corresponding big N by the number of decimal place you moved. If you moved once, okay. Then you will multiply by 10. If you move 2, you will multiply by 10 squared, and so on. But if you move backward, then you multiply by 10 to the power negative 1. If you move twice, you multiply. You see, it's not systematic. It's not systematic. Okay. Anyway, I had to sift through this and really try hard to find some things for you. So for the first part, the first step, I'm giving you 1 point there, but very confusing. Talking about moving to the left and moving to the right, I'll give you 1 point each. But that's been very, very generous, right? Okay. So that gives you a total of 3 out of 10. Ay, West Africa. Trouble everywhere. Anyway. So you said decimal is expressed in the form a times 10 to the power n. For saying something like that, and then describing a little bit more, I'm giving you 2 points for the first part. Then the rest of you are not coherent. Your whole thing, you are confused. So when it comes to the being clear about the number of steps, it's not clear at all. I'm not giving you any points for those. But when it comes to the third step, how to organize it together because you started out with that. And then also a little bit is, it's confusing. Anyway, I'm adding 1 point to it to give you 3 out of 10. All right. Tamale. So your description was a bit better, but it still could have done, you could have done some more work on it. You see the systematic process that I read out. Okay. So for the first step, I'm giving you 1 point there. Then the counting, your counting was a little bit clearer than the others. So I'm giving you 2 points, counting the number n of places you moved the decimal in step 1. I'm giving you 2 points there. And then I'm adding 1 more point for when you move the steps to the right. I think you got, yes, from left to right. You got that one. I'm adding 1 point to that. And then for the third part, assembling it because of what you wrote earlier on, I think I'll give you 2 more for that. So that gives you 6 out of 10. That's the end of the problem of the day and the end of round 3. Please pick up your notepads. Thank you. Round 4. In this round, I'm going to be presenting you with statements. When you receive a statement, please consider the statement carefully and let me know whether it's true or false. If you are right, 2 points. If you are incorrect, you lose a precious point. You may choose not to respond, in which case the statement becomes available to the 2 other schools. A school may ring and attempt an answer. If it's right, 2 full points. If it's incorrect, there's that penalty, 1 point. Best wishes to all 3 schools. I'm starting with you this time, West Africa. Your statement. Most crop plants do not survive in waterlogged soils because the dissolved nutrients are too diluted for crop plants. Sahine?
False.
You're right. Most crop plants do not survive in waterlogged soils because the plants will not photosynthesize. Yes, Emmanuel?
It's false.
Yes. Most crop plants do not survive in waterlogged soils because their physiological processes will be increased. Yes, Eunice?
It's false.
Yes. Generally, metallic character increases with decrease in the first ionization energy. Sahine?
True.
Yes. Generally, as metallic character decreases, electronegativity increases. Yes, Kingsley?
True.
Yes. As metallic bond strength decreases, metallic character also decreases. Yes, Jonas?
It's false.
Yes. The electrostatic field is a conservative field. Yes, Ahine?
True.
work done in moving a charged particle between 2 points in a time-dependent electromagnetic field is independent of the path taken between the points. Yes, Manuel?
It's true.
No, that's a false statement. The work done in moving a charged particle around a closed path in an electrostatic field is 0. Yes, Eunice?
It's true.
Yes. Inverse sine of half is equal to inverse cosine of root 3 over 2. Sahne?
True.
Yes. Inverse tangent of 1 is equal to inverse sine of root 2. Emmanuel?
It's false.
Yes. Inverse cosine of 1 is equal to inverse tangent of 0. Jonas?
It's true.
Yes. When oil is poured into the breeding site of mosquitoes, it deprives the larvae of water. Yes, Ahine?
False.
Yes. When oil is poured into the breeding site of mosquitoes, it slows down egg development. Emmanuel?
It's true.
Oh dear, no. That's a false statement. When oil is poured into the breeding site of mosquitoes, it suffocates the pupae. Eunice?
It's true.
Yes. Electrolysis of copper 2 tetraoxosulfate 6 using copper electrodes can be used as a method to purify copper metal. Yes, Ahine?
True.
Yes. Electrolysis of dilute H2SO4 and dilute NaCl using inert electrodes are both equivalent to electrolysis of water. Emmanuel?
It's false.
No. That's a true statement. In the electrolysis of concentrated NaCl using inert electrodes, volumes of hydrogen gas and chlorine gas discharged are always in a 1-to-1 ratio. Yes, Eunice?
It's true.
Yes. The orbital period for a closed planetary orbit is proportional to the cubed square root of the sum of the distances to perihelion and aphelion. Yes, Sahine?
False.
No, that's a true statement. The speed of a planet is greatest at aphelion. Yes, Kingsley?
True.
No. That's a false statement. An Earth satellite attains its greatest orbital speed at perigee. Jonas?
It's false.
No. Last set of statements. The transformation xy mapping onto negative x, negative y is a reflection in the y-axis. Sahine?
False.
That's right. The transformation x, y, mapping onto y, negative x, is a reflection in the line y is equal to x. Yes, Kingsley?
False.
Yes. Last statement. The transformation x, y, mapping onto negative x, negative y, is a reflection in the origin. Yes, Jonas?
It's true.
That's right. And that's the end of the fourth round. At the end of the fourth round, Kumasi Senior High Technical School has 23 points. Tamale Senior High School has 43 points. West Africa Senior High School has 50 points. Fifth and final round, round 5. In this round, I'm going to be reading out clues. Your objective is to solve the riddle. For an opportunity to solve a riddle, you must ring for it. May I hear your bell, Kumasi? Thank you. Yours, West Africa. Thank you. And yours, Tamale. If you solve the riddle on the first clue, 5 points. On the second clue, 4 points. On the third or any clue thereafter, 3 points. There are 4 riddles in all. Best wishes, everyone. I am a compound that may be seen as partly organic and partly inorganic. One end of my molecule is considered to be polar and the other end non-polar. This indeed enables me to perform my functions well. My inorganic part is a cation derived from the second metal of group 1. My organic part is a long chain of 16 carbons. Yes.
Please, Sodium hexadecanoate.
Again.
Sodium hexadecanoate.
Yes. There was one clue left. I can be obtained from the saponification of palm oil. And yes, it's sodium hexadecanoate or sodium palmitate. Same thing. They solved the riddle on the fifth clue, 3 points. I am a stream of particles distinguished by my origin. I am not gamma rays, even though... Yes, Emmanuel.
Cathode rays.
No. I continue. I am not gamma rays, even though a small fraction of my particles are gamma ray photons. The Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to Victor Hess in 1937 for my discovery. My particles are predominantly protons, along with a small fraction. Yes, Abdul.
Cosmic rays.
Yes. The rest of the clues, along with a small fraction of alpha and other particles, I account for the presence of very high energy particles at high altitudes in the atmosphere. I originate from distant parts of the universe, and yes, it's cosmic rays. And I was reading the fourth clue, 3 points. Next one. My name sounds like a piece of metal that has been cut into a special shape and is used for opening or closing a lock. But I am one of the most useful tools available to scientists. In biology, I am constructed so that the user is presented with a series of choices about the characteristics. Yes. Which of you? Eunice.
We have classification key. Classification keys. Classification key.
No, I'm not accepting that. Who rang next? Yes, Sahine.
Dichotomous keys.
I'm not accepting that either. I continue. Oh, you've rang. Okay, go ahead.
A key.
Okay. Let me continue with the clues and then let's see. I am constructed so that the user is presented with a series of choices about the characteristics of an unknown organism. By making the correct choice at each step, the user is ultimately led to the identity of an object or specimen. I am a printed or computer-aided device that aids in the identification of objects or biological entities such as plants, animals, fossils, microorganisms, and pollen grains. So who am I? Anyone in the audience? Yes. Yes, that's it. That's it. It's an identification key or a taxonomic key. Last one. I hate congruence in any form. I am a polygonal figure. The sum of my interior angles is a straight angle. Of course, that makes me a triangle. I am a type of triangle. Yes, Ahine?
Scaling triangle.
Yes. There was one clue left. No two of my sides or angles are congruent. And yes, it's a scaling triangle. They solved the riddle on the 5th clue, 3 points. And that's the end of the 5th round. At the end of the contest, here are the final scores. KUMASI Senior High Technical School has 23 points. TAMALE Senior High School has 43 points. West Africa Senior High School has 59 points. I have some announcements pertaining to the money zone sponsored by GCB Bank. As we are in the money zone, like I said, no one goes away empty-handed. KUMASI Senior High Technical School, you are receiving a total amount of 460 Ghana cedis for your 3 contestants and 1 teacher. TAMALE Senior High School, you are receiving a total amount of 860 Ghana cedis for your 3 contestants and 1 teacher. West Africa Senior High School, you are receiving a total of 1,180 Ghana cedis for your 3 contestants and 1 teacher. This is from GCB Bank. In addition to that, Bond Savings and Loans is donating an amount of 500 Ghana cedis to the winning team. KUMASI Senior High Technical School, thank you for being here. Best wishes to you. TAMALE Senior High School, thank you for being here and for giving us a good contest. You did well. Unfortunately, it was too much for you today. Best wishes. West Africa Senior High School, congratulations on winning the contest. Well done. Prepare, and I look forward to seeing you in the semi-finals. Congratulations. Viewers, thank you very much for joining us for this contest. We are still in the quarterfinals. Next time, we'll bring you St. Margaret Mary Senior High School, Holy Child School, and Krobo Girls Senior High School. Before we leave, I would like to acknowledge that the National Science and Math Quiz is sponsored by the Ghana Education Service through the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools, with support from GCB Bank, Accra College of Medicine, Medifem Multi-Specialist Hospital and Fertility Center, Lancaster University, Ghana, Academic City College, West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens, WACBIB, Awake Purified Drinking Water, GTP, MFA Jewelry, and Hoti Makeup. The mentorship sessions are sponsored by Bond Savings and Loans and RMG Ghana, and SciTech Fair 2018 was sponsored by GOIL, Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, and Talo Ghana Limited. Our media sponsors are City FM and Joy News. This is a primetime production. Thank you for joining us this time, and see you next time. Bye.
Hello. So